Podcast, a podcast about creative pursuits like knitting, spinning, dyeing, and various other artistic adventures. We are podcasting to you from the foothills of the majestic Rocky Mountains in beautiful Golden, Colorado, and sometimes from the mountains.
We're so glad you're joining us today. There are so many fantastic podcasts that you can choose from, and it's so awesome that you're choosing to spend some of your time with us today.
Your feedback is important to us. So if you like what we're doing, please hit the like button on this episode and subscribe to our channel. When you do, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you don't miss a thing.
You can also comment anywhere we are. We love reading comments. I'm Jennifer, and you can find me as JennuineKnits on Instagram, Periscope, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm on Twitter now. And as Junip, that's the one that's different, on Ravelry, Junip.
And I'm Liz. You can find me just about anywhere on the interwebs as Lizzythemamma, very specifically on Instagram, Periscope, and Ravelry.
Our contact details, you can find them all down in the down bar or on our website at colorinlifepodcast.com. And we hope you enjoy the show.
All right, so we're also going to do a second giveaway for our YouTube subscribers. In order to be eligible for this giveaway, you must be subscribed to us on YouTube. And it does mean that you overlapped. But if you've already subscribed, that's not a problem. You're already entered.
Right, and that means that you'll be eligible for both of them.
Wonderful.
You have 2 chances.
Yep. We're going to do the drawing. The drawing will be held after June 11th and will be announced on the podcast uploaded on June 22nd.
Okay.
We've decided that we're going to increase the prize pool as the subscriber count increases. So it's in your best interest to get your friends to watch the show and subscribe.
More subscribers, more prizes.
And who doesn't want more prizes?
Yep.
All right.
Our special project is... And we have progress on the special project, so I'm very excited.
Nice.
It's really nice having this as a special project because it's keeping me doing this.
Yeah, that's great.
So I will give a quick little review. I didn't quite get all of this opened up. So last time in our special project, you saw the initial things, and then you saw these 2 lovely skeins. This is the
Fractal?
No.
Gradient?
This is a gradient. That's the word I was looking for. This is gradient. So it's just all golds, all greens, all blues, all matched together.
So pretty.
This is the variegated, but it's the matched variegated.
Okay.
It's the matched variegated.
So that's going to look more self-striping.
That's going to look a little more self-striping, I think, because of how long they turned out.
Oh, that's so lovely.
But it's they're both beautiful.
They are.
They are so gorgeous. I know, I'm going to have to do something with them.
Yarn face.
Yes. And more yarn face. Because this is what I finished. This is the fractal.
Nice. Oh, wow. Oh, people. Do you see that? Beauteousness.
That's the fractal. So you can see the long gold and the long blue and the long green all coming through there, while all of these others come in and match.
Definitely where they're matched and then where they're not.
Yep. Yep.
Beautiful.
Cool. And then... Okay.
Oh, good.
Baby's awake. So, all right, this is the this is the fractal.
Fractal.
So this is the fractal, and I just love it. I mean, I love all of them.
You're going to have a hard time choosing.
I am. I'm going to have a very hard time choosing. That's
so
what I was
left?
talking about in the conversation.
Right.
Is that this is walking that fine line between experimenting with different things and becoming paralyzed with indecision.
Mm-hmm. Did I get that on myself?
So, that's okay. So what's left is the other variegated, and half of it's already spun up. That's one ply. And then this is going to be mismatched.
Intentionally mismatched.
Intentionally mismatched.
Awesome.
So it's going to be close to this variegated.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to have one long thing going through. But sometimes they're going to match and sometimes they're not going to match.
Right.
And my instinct is I think that's going to be the one I like best.
Is that why you saved it for last?
I think I kind of did.
Oh, we're playing a game. There we go.
Okay, so this is the mismatched variegated.
That's pretty.
So they're gonna come. So it'll be like the fractal.
Mm-hmm.
In some ways, there won't be this continuous long thing, and I think this is gonna end up being the one I like the best, the mismatched variegated. Because my concern with this one is, although it could be an advantage, then I'll have this one big long stripe, but it could be kind of cool because I'll have that go through, and then when I run out of one, then I'll do the next one, and then it'll be gold to blue, then gold to blue. So I'll have this big long pattern repeat with these other colors coming in. So that could be cool. But then I'd have to worry about striping issues and kind of variations in the braid and each individual skein being just a little bit different. And this one, if I had a mismatched variegated, I'm also now thinking about the knitting it up aspect.
Right.
And do I want it to be something that I can just pick a skein?
Right.
Alternate every other row for a couple of rows and then just keep going.
Right.
I do.
Yeah. That would make it a lot easier.
And this would make it easier. I want it to be easier to knit. So my inclination is if this is a yarn that I like, this is the one I'm going to pick.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm excited. So your next step is to finish spinning that and ply it.
Yes.
And then after that, are you going to knit swatches out of these guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Then I'm going to knit swatches up. That's the next step.
And are you doing those in pattern, or are you just going to do some stockinette?
I'm going to do them in pattern.
That makes
sense.
So
I kind of see how it looks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to just put this off for a second.
Do you need to touch this?
You can. Look at that. So
Squishy.
soft.
Oh, yes.
And so, one of the things that I thought would be really fun to see is what this started like. This is the dyed stuff, but this is what we started with.
Mm-hmm.
This beautiful polar silk.
Yes.
And this is, remember she said I got a big bump? A big thing. This is only some of it. So we started with this pale creamy and have this
super vibrant
stuff. So that just must have been so fun to dye. To watch this become this.
I dye because it's magic.
Yeah.
And I
mean,
it.
This is beautiful.
Right.
This is so beautiful just on its own. That's why I kind of said I could probably find myself in a zen place just spinning this beautiful creamy stuff.
Right. But it's not your favorite.
But it's not, holy cow, watch all the colors change like this, for sure.
Right. So we're going to dye this up.
Yes.
To be a skein.
Just so we can see if possibly you wanted a bigger sample. Because we had this other...
It was just not enough.
It was just not enough for how much dye you needed to use. And so it kind of came out, although it's gorgeous, it just kind of came out slightly muddy.
Yeah.
Just slightly muddy.
I need a big enough to
really do it justice.
Right. And be able to play with it.
Yeah.
So.
And so that may be what we end up with.
Right.
My thinking is it's going to kind of come down between this one dyed and and the variegated mismatched. Because that'd make it easy. That'd make it easier to spin too.
Right.
Because I could start knitting even before I'd finish spinning. If I spin up a whole braid, then I could start knitting with that braid.
Gotcha.
While I spun the next braid.
Okay.
So I wouldn't necessarily have to finish the entire spinning process before I knit it.
Right.
And that would keep me spinning on it too.
Would it?
Yeah. Because if I'm like, oh crap, I'm almost out of this skein, then I have to spin up some more.
Right. And so you're spinning that to about a sport weight?
Yeah, that's the goal. What is interesting is the spinning off the braid, just straight off the braid. This is the other reason why I'm kind of leaning towards this. Is, look, it's so much easier for me to get it the right weight.
Mm-hmm.
Because that, it's not quite, it's not fresh, so it's not twisting up quite right. But see, that's closer to a sport weight.
Gotcha. Perfect.
That's much closer to a sport weight. And spinning right off the braid is easier to get the right weight for me than when I was spinning off, when I was spinning these, because they had been divided so much, and this one had been divided in half, it was really easy for me to get it thin.
Yeah.
Super thin.
And
so there are parts of this that aren't, that are closer to fingering, like see right there. That's a lot closer to fingering. Or I think there are probably even some lace points in here.
That's the joy of hand spun.
Yeah. So Target is about a sport.
Nice.
Yep. And that's our special project.
Yay for special projects.
Yay for special
Say
projects.
Yay. Can you say yay?
Yay. Alrighty. That's our show for today. Please join us again next time for our next show. And in the meantime, please like, subscribe, and comment below.
We hope you get creative and include some color in your life.